Right then, got this lovely on-one bike in with a stuck seat post. It's had a lot of penetrating oil on it for the last week or so. Just clamped it in. It's all clamped in the jig, ready to have the seat post removed. So we've got the clamps on, lubed up the bushes, adjusted the hydraulic bit. So we're just going to load it up now. And fingers crossed it comes out. I'll just put a little mark just there so we can see. Fingers crossed. Let's put some force on it now. Oh, there we go. You can just see there. Try and get it to focus. It's not having it. There we go. It's just moved up a touch. Let's give it some more. Get my fingers out of the way. Oh, that's tight. That's tight. Here we go. And out it comes. I'm really happy. I was hoping this one would come out. It's be such a nice frame to waste. So yeah, another lovely frame saved from the scrap heap. Got a couple more in. I'll do some videos on. Got a Genesis there. That thing is mega rusty inside, so I don't hold much hope for that. We'll give it a go though. And then we've got an orange P7, an old 26-inch one there, ready to roll. They're upside down because they've got penetrating oil attacking the kind of underside of the seat post in a hope to kind of get to that corrosion that's in there. But I'll have to see what's going on with this one. Let's try and drag it out now. Sorry, I know this bit's a bit boring for you. I'll try and edit it out if I can be bothered. Editing's not my strong bit though. You see it's dragging out. We've got quite a bit of kind of oil on there. That's the plus gas which has been soaking in, so it has actually done the job, but it did take quite a bit of force from the old girl. Right, let's put this jack down now. She's starting to bow a bit. Not what we want. Lock it off. I think I'm going to have to replace this soon. These seals are weeping a bit. It's not really what the jack's designed for. Let's see if I can get this out by hand now. Oh no. No, that is still blooming tight in there. God, no, that is not shifting. And that's come out, what? I don't know. So about 3 inches. So, right, I'm going to put the camera down. Right, I've just readjusted the jack. So let's try and get some more out of this. I mean, this is effortless. There's no effort at all on this jack. Yet, I wouldn't have been able to do that by hand. No way. I've seen a few people making these jigs now with like a kind of winder on the top, but I'd quite like to have a go with one, but I just can't think it's as easy as kind of, you know, it's less effort than if I was jacking a car up. A lot less. Let's pop this down again. Down she goes. Make sure we don't hit the top of the frame. Right. Let's try and get it out again. And I still can't turn it. Right, got it out. Got it out, wrestled it out by hand. The seat post, I mean, there's not much going on there. It's not actually that corroded. Half of me thinks sometimes it's, oh mind you, there is a bit of build up here actually on the back edge. Yeah, let me get this to focus. You can see there's quite a bit of corrosion now setting in on the back. The front's fine. Rear is, yeah, got quite a bit of corrosion going on there. So that's obviously just enough just to nip it in. You sometimes find, or I find, might be wrong, with decent quality frames where everything's made kind of just right, you get kind of decent quality seat posts. They fit so well together. the tolerances are kind of almost perfect, that there's no room for any corrosion. So when there is a little bit, it then nips up real tight, where you get like a really poor quality kind of seat post and a cheap frame. I mean, yeah, 27.2, and you know, you can almost throw the thing, and there's that much kind of, the tolerances are dreadful. So the corrosion can kind of get in there and still have a, you know, you've got a bit of kind of play there to get it out. But anyway, probably doesn't make any sense what I just said, but there we go. Yeah, so another one removed. So now my process is to tidy up down the hole. Don't think we'll be able to see that down there. Give it a go. You can just about see. It's pretty nasty. So I'm not just going to put a new seat post in there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to clean it out first, get all the kind of nasty oil out and debris, give it a blowout. Then I'm going to run a reamer down just to get any kind of nasty sharp edges off. And then I'm going to run down. This is a real cheap, cheerful one, just a honing tool. It's nothing special at all. I've got some spare stones to go on it because these are totally kind of dead now. But same as you do like a cylinder on an engine, that kind of cross hatch, lovely kind of cross hatch kind of scratching, which we'll put in. The theory is, I can't remember if I've decided myself or whether I've read it somewhere. I think I read it somewhere. If you've got two silky smooth tubes and you put grease on, the grease doesn't really have anywhere to go, especially if the tolerances are really good. So you put you hone it, get the kind of nice scratches put in there, and the idea is the lubricant, kind of oil or grease or whatever you're using, sits in this kind of micro scratches in between the two, in between the frame and the seat post, therefore kind of lubricating it or stopping it from kind of rusting and corroding. Also, they slide in and out a lot easier. Sounds crazy, but when things are a bit rougher, they almost slide in and out nicely. But when they're smooth, they almost want to kind of bind up. Like if you put two plastic pipes together, which are smooth, once they go together, they almost don't want to come apart again, where if they were rough, they'd slide in and out quite easily. So we're going to finish off with a honing tool. I put just kind of stuff you'd use in your car, copper grease or copper slip. Lashings of that. New seat post. I don't trust these after they've been clamped up. Last thing you want is that shearing off and going in your leg or up your bum. Yeah, a lot of copper grease. New seat post. Ready to go. Fella can enjoy his bike again. Right, now that I've cleaned the kind of crud off, I think the problem wasn't actually the seat post so much. I think it was the frame. So I'm just going to try and show people in here. I don't think it's going to let me do it though. Maybe if I... there we go. Just about. You can see kind of just below the kind of slit here, there's quite a lot of kind of rust, corrosion, quite a lot of pitting in the frame, and the pitting you can see goes all the way down. That's really rough. It's almost like, it's kind of like a bit of granite almost or something. That's really kind of rough texture. Yeah, problem isn't so much the seat post. That's pretty minimal, the corrosion on there. The issue is the inside the tube is just rusting and biting onto the seat post, hence why it was tight the whole way out, which usually isn't the case when you get a rotten seat post. Usually they kind of get easier as they come out, but this one was tough the whole way, even down to the last couple of inches. So really going to have to kind of ream it smooth and then kind of go to town, kind of honing it, just to kind of do the best we can with this, I think, because I don't want to take away so much material that the tubing gets thin, or even because it's already a 27.2, so I don't want to, we're kind of going to have issues with seat post clamping. So I think I'm just going to tidy it up as best I can, get it as smooth as I kind of can, then hone it, and then, and then just advise the customer kind of lashes loads of copper grease on there, and really, just pulls out and gives it a clean and a bit of a kind of lube every so often, maybe every couple of months or something, just to be on the safe side. But it's the only problem with these steel frames, I think, sometimes. Genesis seem to be pretty good because they kind of somehow paint the inside of all their tubing usually, so when you look in it's kind of black, and they're pretty good, where on one obviously a little bit corroded down there, there's no treatment at all really, it looks like it's been applied. So I don't know, maybe that's why on one are a little bit cheaper possibly, I don't know. I'm usually pretty impressed with them though. They certainly ride nicely and they don't seem to break or anything. But one to look out for. Look down the hole. So hopefully the camera can kind of pick this up. I've just finished I reamed it and I've just finished kind of honing out the tube. It's kind of, I'm not going to take any more off this. I think this is about as good as it's going to get. You can kind of just about try and get this to zoom in a bit. Oh, there we go. You can just see it looks mega rough, but it's not actually that rough, to be honest. It's actually pretty smooth, but you can just see all the kind of loads of little scratches in there. You can obviously see the top tube is welded in, that kind of circular shape. But yeah, it's just all ready for the new post now. I'm gonna shove a load of copper grease down there, just so it's ready for the customer, so he doesn't really have to buy any. But yeah, ready for the new post. When this is all done, customers obviously ready to collect it. I'll just talk through what I've done, usually show them this video or give them a link to it. Put all the bottom bracket back in. This was brought in with kind of derailleur off it and no wheels and things like that. So I'll just kind of put it back to how it was when he brought it in. Seat clamp back on. I don't refit the old seat post because I kind of highly recommend he's going to have to change that. Go for a kind of new one. But yeah, happy days.